On June 25, 1986, a tanker truck filled with sulfuric acid barreled through Spain's Somosierra mountain pass before crashing, resulting in 2 deaths and triggering one of the country's most baffling unsolved mysteries. This is the case of the boy from Somosierra. The Martinez family, from Murcia, Spain, consisted of 36-year-old father Andrés Martinez, 34-year-old mother Carmen Gomez, and their 10-year-old son, Juan Pedro Martinez. Andrés, a tanker truck driver, was tasked with transporting 5,200 gallons of sulfuric acid to the port city of Bilbao. He decided to take his family along for a trip to northern Spain after he made the delivery as a reward for Juan Pedro's good grades. Excited about the trip, Juan Pedro had packed some audiobooks on cassette to listen to during the drive. On June 25th, at around 5:30 a.m., the family stopped at a restaurant for breakfast. A waiter later described seeing nothing unusual about the family. An hour later, at approximately 6:30 a.m., Andrés' truck, traveling at an excessive speed of about 87 miles per hour, began to drive recklessly. He broke off another driver's car mirror, then bumped into another car from behind before crashing head-on into another truck in the opposite lane. The collision caused his truck to overturn, spilling sulfuric acid onto the truck and the roadway, and creating a toxic mushroom cloud. When authorities arrived, they had to neutralize the acid before it leaked into the nearby river. After the area was cleaned up, they found the bodies of Andrés and Carmen, severely damaged from the sulfuric acid. However, Juan Pedro was missing. Authorities were initially unaware that a child had been in the truck until Carmen's mother, Maria, inquired about her grandson. Investigators searched the truck and found Juan Pedro's cassettes and some of his clothes, but no actual sign of him. They checked beneath the truck and under the sand and lime used to neutralize the acid, yet they were still unable to find any remains of Juan Pedro. A large-scale search was conducted using horses, dogs, motorbikes, and helicopters. Despite extensive efforts, Juan Pedro was never found. Investigators initially considered the possibility that his body might have been dissolved by the sulfuric acid. However, experts dismissed this theory, explaining that a body would need to be fully submerged for complete dissolution to occur, and help had arrived too quickly for such a process to happen. Additionally, there were no traces of the boy's remains near the wreckage. Another theory suggested that Juan Pedro's body was taken shortly after the crash. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a white Nissan Vanette at the crash site shortly after the accident. The van contained 2 individuals, an elderly woman claiming to be a nurse and a male companion. They allegedly retrieved a bundle from the scene and drove off. Authorities investigated over 3,000 similar vans in the area, but found no leads. One theory suggested that the truck's brakes had failed. However, upon examining Andrés' truck, investigators discovered that there was nothing wrong with the brakes. Another peculiar detail emerged from the truck's tachometer. It recorded that Andrés had stopped the truck 12 times while ascending the mountain over a period of just 20 minutes. Other truckers noted that stopping even once on the mountain pass was unnecessary, let alone 12 times. No one could explain why he was speeding recklessly, but it appeared to be entirely his choice. The most popular theory suggested that Juan Pedro had been abducted, prompting his father to chase after him. During the search of the truck, authorities discovered traces of heroin. Although Andrés and his wife, Carmen, had no known history of drug involvement, Andrés' family later revealed that he had been coerced into smuggling heroin by a local trafficking ring. The theory is that someone from the drug network might have forced the family to stop and abducted Juan Pedro as leverage, possibly to ensure that Andrés would complete his delivery. In a desperate attempt to rescue his son, Andrés may have driven recklessly, resulting in the crash. Over the years, law enforcement has investigated multiple leads, including reports of sightings of Juan Pedro in Madrid, where witnesses claim to have seen him with an elderly blind woman. However, none of these sightings were substantiated, and no evidence of his fate has ever been found. Decades later, the case remains unsolved, and the investigation into his disappearance is still open almost 40 years later.